Thanks for joining us on the Week 11 edition of Inside Butler Football. I'm JoJo Gentry. The Dogs are preparing for their last game of the season at home versus Dayton after dropping a loss to Valparaiso 17-3. Head coach Jeff Boris is here to give us the scoop on the Dogs' goals for Senior Day. Stay with us. Coach Boris, thanks so much for being here.
Great to be back.
Let's talk about last weekend's game at Valpo. The rival road loss was a tough setback for Butler. The Dogs finished with 263 total yards on the day. So how was Valpo able to keep Butler from scoring after last week's strong offensive performance?
Well, there's no question that they're emotionally ready to play and well prepared and, invested in the game and played, harder and longer than we did. They did some things schematically, but nothing that you didn't expect to see. They just made plays that, we didn't make the plays in crucial situations, and they did, and you tip your hat to them. They were well prepared and coached well and, played well.
The Dogs crossed Valpo's 20-yard line just one time during the game, and that drive ended in John Traylor's field goal in the second quarter. So what did Valpo do well to keep Butler out of the end zone?
Well, they did a nice job of mixing up not just their coverages, but their fronts. They got in and out at some different looks, and I think the biggest thing is they just kept the ball in front of them. I mean, they eliminated the big play, and that was, where we've had some success in the past is the big quick strike, and they made you line up and play another play and play another play, and we weren't able to execute a sustained drive, and that was their plan, and we just got to be a little bit better this week, no question.
On Butler's defensive end, sophomore linebacker Sean Horan had a great day with a game high of 11 tackles. How would you like to see younger players like Sean perform well for the seniors next week?
Well, I think you got to, one, be performing for yourself and preparing for yourself. But, we do understand that, this is a special week. Being senior week, we have, 13 guys that have given 4+ years to this program, and it's not an easy thing to do. There's a commitment and investment that goes into playing football and the education you get from playing football. And so these guys are special. There's no question. They're important to what's happened here at Butler, and we'd like not only the younger guys to play well on Saturday, but we'd love the seniors to have the best game of their career Saturday. I think that's the important thing, is that they go out and walk up the tunnel one last time feeling like they gave it their all.
Coach, let's go into next week's game versus Dayton. It's another rival game for Butler. So what does it mean to the program to play the Flyers on Senior Day?
Well, I mean, Senior Day's special, no matter who you play. And, we play in a really unique league that, every week you're going to get someone's best shot, and you're going to play, anyone's capable of beating anyone in this league. And there's some really good teams. So you have to prepare well and be ready to play well. Then you throw on top of it, it's Senior Day, and a special day for those guys that have given so much to the program, and you want them to go out on well, and then you get a rivalry game on top of it. So it'll be exciting, be electric. It's always a well-contested game and a hard-fought game, and I think it's probably a little bit special for the senior group to go out with Dayton.
How do you plan on finishing the season on a high note?
Well, I mean, it all goes back to what are we going to do this week? I think, how are you going to prepare? And I think what kind of, how emotionally invested are you going to be on Saturday? I mean, it's, like I just said, you play in a league where if you're not ready to go emotionally, if your head and heart aren't in it on Saturday, it's really hard to win. So I think what I'd like to do is, what I'd like to see is, we go out with our best effort, do the things that we talk about, that when we're really good, that we get accomplished, and, to make sure that we take care of the things that, eliminate the things that beat you, the little mental errors, play disciplined football, be emotionally invested, and play with some enthusiasm and some fire. And if you do those things and you do your part to make it a little bit easier on your teammate and, play some solid complementary football, I think everything seems to work out at that point. And you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, you know what, that was our best effort. And when we do the little things, we've had a lot of success.
Next week's game is the last game of the 2014 season. What do you want players to take away from the significance of this game?
Well, I mean, it's the last one. It's the one that a lot of times you remember moving forward into the off season. It's the last time this group will be together. There's no question. We got one more chance to prepare and play together. That's the one thing about this group is they've invested and prepared, and they enjoy playing the game. So that part we'll be excited and ready to go on Saturday. And as you move forward, there's always a little bit easier to say goodbye or move into the off season with a win to finish the schedule. So that's what we're looking to do, but we understand that we got a heck of a test in front of us, and Dayton is always well coached and going to play as well as anyone we've played against this year.
And last question I have for you. What are you going to miss the most about this year's seniors?
Well, that's a tough one now. I mean, this group has been really special because they've been through ups and downs, and that's the thing with college football. It's an education on life, and not every day is the ball going to bounce your way. But if you're mentally tough about handling adversity, the sun's going to come up the next day. I mean, it's a beautiful blue sky day today, and it felt, it didn't feel that way Saturday afternoon when we were coming home. So this group has showed up ready to work and prepare. I mean, it's been a fun group and one that's invested a lot in Butler football, so it'll certainly be missed.
Well, Coach Boris, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate you having me.
Next up, we'll have senior offensive lineman and inside Butler football creator, Greg Ambrose. Greg, thanks so much for being on set.
Thank you, JoJo.
So you're from Dayton, Ohio. Talk about your football experiences growing up.
Well, I started playing football in the 3rd grade for the Oakwood Pee Wee Lumberjacks. There was a 3rd and 4th grade team, and a 5th and 6th grade team. So started playing. Originally was a tight end, and then I kind of got bumped around a little bit, and then ended up settling on the offensive line in 5th and 6th grade. So it was a good experience. I actually played with a college quarterback. Our quarterback my 3rd and 4th grade year was Kurt Hess, who played at Youngstown State. So it was good. It was fun, and definitely bonds that I will forever share with my teammates.
Talk about your journey to Butler.
It was an interesting one. I really didn't have like a set school in mind going into my senior year. But I knew I wanted to be in like a medium-sized school in a big city. So my mom Googled Division II schools, and Butler just happened to pop up, and she remembered Butler from, they used to live here back in the late 80s. So she's like, oh, you should totally take a visit. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'll do it just to appease you. I'm not going to win this argument, so I might as well do it. And I came on campus, shot Coach Voris an email, said, hey, I'm going to be on campus for a school tour. I'd like to talk about football. Said, okay, cool. Did the campus tour. Then after the tour, I went to the football office and met with former offensive line coach Frank Smith, who recruited me. And then I just kind of from then on, I pretty much loved it, ended up committing late in January and then signing on the letter. And now I'm here.
How have you grown from being a member of the football team?
If I were to look at a version of myself my freshman year and now this being my 5th year, it would be hard pressed to say that's me, just the football program has given me something to be accountable for throughout my 4.5, 5 years here. Just always knowing that I'm constantly working towards something, and there's people who legitimately care about me and want me to do well. It's been incredible, and the guys I've been doing it with, these 6 other 5th-year seniors that are going on senior day on Saturday, is just incredible, and I wouldn't want to go out any other way.
Now, as a digital media production student, what led you to create Inside Butler Football?
The spring of my sophomore year, I helped out on the women's basketball show. So I knew that it was student run. So I kind of saw that, maybe there's an opportunity for me to create my own new show, specifically to showcase football, because there hadn't really been much about it in years past. So I went around, I talked to a couple different professors here in the CME building, and then I went to the sports information director, McGrath, to ask him if that's okay. He said he gave me the okay for that. And then eventually I went to Coach Voris and I asked him if he'd be willing to give up, his morning times on Mondays to come in and sit in front of a camera, and he said he'd be willing to do it. So I really just wanted to get the Butler football name out there more. And I remember when I was a recruit coming in my senior year of high school, I was looking for everything. Like, I was trying to find every little detail, like inside little scoop on Butler football, because I just really wanted to understand the program at a deep level. But I hope, like, recruits and people who have been at the school these now past couple of years have been able to watch it and be able to, like, and especially parents too. I know a lot of parents come up to my parents and ask about, oh, what happened to the show this week, or I really like what Greg's doing, and all this other stuff. So I was just really just trying to get the name out there and just get as much exposure to Butler football as possible.
What do you like most about running the show?
It gives me a consistent goal, something to do every week. Now that these past few weeks I've kind of laid the hands off a little bit. Nestor Porres has kind of taken the lead on it. He's been doing a lot of the legwork, but those first 2 years, just always, just coming in the studio and cutting the stuff together and highlights and just the everyday thing of it. I really do enjoy live sports production, and it's something I want to continue to do. And this show has really given me a lot of credit, so especially keeping up for these past 3 years.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave for this show?
I'd like to see it continue for at least a few more years. Nestor's a junior, so hopefully he'll be around next year to continue it on. But I just really hope that people always have a way they can get in contact or be informed about Butler football, whether it's through the show or anything else anybody might come up in the future. But I really just hope people are appreciative of all the work that went into it. And they were able to learn something ultimately about Butler football that they didn't know. So.
And as a Dayton native, what does next week's senior day mean to you?
Oh wow. It's gonna be emotional. I got a lot of family coming in. But being from Dayton, growing up going to UD Flyer basketball games, it'll mean a lot to me. This year hasn't been the most successful year, and that's something that is particularly a dream season for a fifth-year senior. But, no matter who it is, your last game is one of those games you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So nothing would make me more happy than to win our last game, especially against a great opponent and a good rival such as Dayton is.
Well, Greg, you've been a great producer for this show, and best of luck next week.
And you've been a great host, JoJo. Thanks for doing this past 2 years.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us on Inside Butler Football. I'm JoJo Gentry. Have a great week, Bulldog fans.